Alright, Wear Testers, back once again. This is Duke 4005, bringing you a little departure from the normal. Today I've got a running review. It's my second one since I started here. The first being the Ultra Boost. This is another Adidas product. This time we're going to come with the Adidas Spring Blade Ignite. I have had all pairs of the Spring Blades so far to review. This by far is the most comfortable one, the best performing one. So stick around just a minute and you'll find out why. Okay, so the first thing we want to go over like normal is the materials. This is basically just your normal mesh with some fuse overlays here in the toe for durability. The stripes, whereas Adidas normally uses them for a support piece, here they're basically just a plastic overlay. There is no real saddle of support like they normally use with the 3 stripes. You do have a very solid heel counter in the back that comes almost all the way up to the top of the heel. It stops actually right there at the top of that Adidas 3-stripe and comes down on into the Spring Blade plate. Those of you that have worn Spring Blade and worn the Sprint frame in basketball, you know the frame, the cup here feels a lot alike. There's a lot of similarities. Where this one stops as compared to like the Spring Blade Drive is right here before you get to the forefoot, and I'll explain why that is a good thing later. But overall, I can't complain about the materials. They are stiffer, they take a little bit of time to break in if you're used to the material like the Prime Knit or the Tech Fit of the Drive. They are a little stiffer than that, but not much break-in time required. Another category I'll carry over from the basketball reviews is traction, which sounds really strange on a running shoe unless you're a runner and you run in wet pavement and muddy conditions. Like the first iterations of the Spring Blades, the traction on these leaves something to be desired, especially in the heel area. So all you heel strikers, just know these little rubber pads right here, once they get wet, become like ice skates. Even just walking across a wet tile floor with all the snow and the rain we've had here in Texas in the last couple of weeks, I've been wearing these out, and when I come in and they're wet and I hit that wet pavement, wet concrete, they do slide drastically. You will notice it as soon as you hit on that heel. Now the reason I brought up a good thing with the Spring Blade cup stopping right here is because the transition in this shoe is excellent. I did have a problem with the Drive and the first Spring Blades, the way they rolled from the heel to the forefoot. It had a really mechanical feel to it, which makes sense because this is a mechanical cushioning system. Where this one takes the place though, and I've noticed since the Ultra Boost review, I've become more of a midfoot and forefoot striker, is they put Adiprene Plus in the forefoot here. And with the transition from the heel to the forefoot, these blades lessen in height. So your transition is smoothed out by the time you get up to your toes, unless you just run on your toes completely like I've been trying to do here lately. The flex screws in the outsole, you can see here, they don't help a lot, but I can just imagine what this shoe would feel like if they weren't there at all. It does feel about the same flexibility as what the Spring Blade Drive does, which is really confusing to me because the forefoot of the Spring Blade Drive is divided up completely into the separate blades. It should be leaps and bounds above this as far as transition and flexibility, but I found them pretty much neck and neck on that aspect. Now going back to the cushioning, we'll start back in the heel. For those of you that don't know how the Spring Blades work, these are built like on a cantilever idea in theory. And what that means is they push down and flatten out, and then they spring you forward, propel you forward is the idea to get you into your next step. I have yet to feel much spring coming out of these. They just feel like a very cushioned foam shoe, just walking around, stepping down on them. And you can go try them on and try them out and step on the heel and see if you feel any compression, see if you feel any spring. If you do, let me know in the comments section because I haven't yet. But I also haven't felt any jarring, any excessive pain, or any just unwanted feelings while running in these. Same with the Drive, same with the first generation Spring Blade. I won't say they do what they're supposed to do, but I haven't had any problems with them. Going back to the Adiprene Plus and the forefoot, it's not as bouncy as what I found in the Lillard one, but it's not as dead feeling as what I found in the J Wall one. So it's a pretty nice medium ground there. In running shoes, I usually do prefer a little more bounce than my basketball shoes. I don't like that bounce back when I'm playing because it feels like it slows me down. Although the Lillard one did feel nice. But in my running shoes, I like a little more response to give me that push because like most basketball players, I hate running. I am not a technical runner. I run for punishment, and I run to stay in shape just enough where I can play that extra game at the end of the day when everybody else is tired. So if you're looking for a technical runner, I'm not it. I'm probably like most of you guys out there that run, 3-5 miles a time, a couple of days a week when I can't get on the court. And really these do the job cushioning wise for that type of runner. One last category I'll get into is fit. Going back to the materials being this thicker mesh as opposed to the Tech Fit on the Springblade drives, the fit is a little less forgiving. The Springblade, the drive I really felt wrapped my foot and just felt like I was wearing a sock. This shoe takes, again, a little more break-in time. When you first put it on, it's gonna feel really, really roomy. But after you wear them for probably 5 to 8 hours or just 3-4 miles worth of a run, the upper does break in really nicely and the fit becomes a ton better. I do like the heel fit better in this than the Springblade drive. It's really the same material-wise and cut-wise, it just fits better to me. If you're looking for a true to size recommendation, I would say true to size. If you wear a 10.5 in your basketball shoes, get a 10.5 in these. That's what I did. So with all that covered, it is what it is. If you like Springblades, then you'll like this shoe. So that about wraps up the Springblade Ignite. Is it the most technical runner? No. I would go for the Ultra Boost if you need an Adidas shoe for that. There are other shoes out there that are better for technical running. Be honest, it looks cool as hell. I will tell you, the Springblade is still one of those designs that just catches the eye whenever you see somebody wearing it. I heard some people in New York talking about these, and I know some other wear testers have gotten some pairs of these. So, looks wise, yeah, they look cool. They're not as light as what you expect from a technical runner, but again, I'm not a technical runner, so these get the job done. Priced at $120, it's pretty reasonable for the technology that's put into it. I know the original Springblades were $180, the drives were $180, and they had the full foot Springblade. So for these just to have the heel, $120 is pretty reasonable for that. I've already seen a couple of colorways marked down, which is shocking because they just came out a couple of weeks ago. But maybe they know something I don't know. So moderately cushioned, moderately priced, fit well, look good. If that's what you're looking for, here's your Springblade Ignite from Adidas. Again, thank you very much, Adidas Running, and we'll see you next time.